Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make level 3 of my YouTuber apartment house. Every single one of these YouTubers has been added there due to the popular demand from the previous level 2 video. And if you do want to follow this build along, I would highly suggest that you have the 2 previous levels already built. I'll be leaving links to those in both the card system and the description below if you want to quickly make those and then come back to this video. And I do also want to let you know that this level of YouTubers, as with the previous level, has been made due to popular demand. That's right, you guys choose who actually gets to go in the row of YouTubers, including me. I was incredibly surprised. Every single one of these YouTubers has been selected because you guys in the comment section of the previous video wanted them to be here. So if you want to control who's going to appear in level 4, let me know down there in the comments. Tell me, what are your 5 favorite YouTubers, and who knows, maybe your favorite YouTuber may end up in level 4 of the YouTuber house, if there is one. If you enjoyed the series, please give this video a like. I really appreciate it. Comment down below. Let me know who you do want to see appear next. Follow me on Twitter at TSMC360 and check out the card system and the description below if you want to make the previous 2 layers. But that's more than enough talking. Let's move on to the building. So if you want to make level 3, here's what you're going to need. Grab yourself some white stained clay and some brown stained clay. Grab yourself some white wool, some lime green wool. Grab a black wool. You'll also need some pink wool. And those are the only materials that we should be needing, because these are the materials that we'll need to make LittleKelly. LittleKelly is right on the very left-hand side of our YouTuber apartment house. And by the way, guys, feel free to change around the positions of these heads if you so choose. I just like them in this order. The reason that I chose this order is because the colours complement each other and it looks more colourful this way. But it's completely up to you with whatever you want to do. Well, what you want to do is you want to come all the way to PopularMMOs. You want to be on top of the front top left-hand corner of the head, and on top of this corner block, we want to go up by 4 with our lime green wall. That'll look like 1, 2, 3, and 4. We then, on top of this 4th block, want to place a brown stained clay. Then go right of that brown stained clay by 6 with the white stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then do a brown stained clay. Then, on top of this next row, going from left to right, we want to do 1 brown stained clay, 1 white wool, 1 lime green, 2 white stained clay, 1 lime, 1 white, 1 brown stained clay. For the next row, do the exact same thing actually. For the next row, you want to do a very similar thing. You want to do 1 black wool on the left hand side, then you want to do 1 white wool, 1 lime green, then 2 white stained clay, 1 lime wool, 1 white wool, 1 black wool. Then for the next row, do 1 brown stained clay, 2 black wool, then 2 white stained clay, 2 black wool, 1 brown stained clay. You then want to make the next 4 rows brown stained clay, so that'll look like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we just want to completely fill these rows in with brown stained clay. And I know that this looks a little bit boring for the head, but don't worry, we are going to make this a little bit better in just a moment. So that's what you want to have so far. And then you want to come to the back of the head. You want to take the bottom 2 corners, the brown stained clay blocks, and you want to extend them backwards, each by 7 with the brown stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we also want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect each one of those 7 blocks together, extend them upwards, and connect them to the top 2 corners of the head. So extend them upwards, connect them to the top 2 corners of the head. Once you've connected them together as well, you can connect them together, connect them to the front of the head, and you will end up with a brown cube. You can fill in the back, left, and right hand sides of your cube in with brown stained clay. That's what you want to do. You want to fill in the back, left, right, and kinda the bottom and kinda the top. I'll explain what you want to do with those. They're a little bit different, but you do want to fill them in a bit. So just start with the back, start with the right, and start with the left hand side, and just fill them in with brown stained clay, because that is of course LittleKelly's hair. And we do also have to add quite a few details to her head. It doesn't stop here. So we first of all just want to fill the head in like that. Then we want to come to the very bottom of the head and we want to add a square of white stained clay going all the way around the inside of the base of LittleKelly's head. So add a square of white stained clay at the base of that. Do the same at the top, except use brown stained clay. We want to leave these holes in the head. The reason being is because we want to be able to outfit glass at the top and bottom of the head. That's what we want to have, just like all of the other heads. Once you've got that taken care of, you now want to come to the front of LittleKelly's head. You want to come all the way to the right eyebrow of LittleKelly, and can you see this brown stained clay in between the eyebrow and the right hand side? Place a brown stained clay from in front of the head in this position, then go up on top of this by one with your pink wool, then one with your white. You then want to go left by one with your pink, then go up on top of that by one with your lime green, do a bottom left diagonal with your green, do an up left diagonal with the white, go left by one with the pink, and also move those three colours closer together to stop you going mental. Then go left of that pink by one with your lime green, go down by one with the green, go left by one with the pink, then one with the white. You then, moving around to the left hand side of LittleKelly's head, you want to place a pink wool just around the corner. You then want to place a lime wool underneath, bottom left diagonally of, and left of that pink wool. Then, bottom left diagonally of the bottom left diagonal lime green wool, place a white wool. Then go left of it by one with the pink, one with the lime green. Do a bottom left diagonal with the white wool. Go left by one with the pink, one with the green, and go down by one with your green. You then want to move to the back of the head, and from the last green block that you placed, you want to place a pink wool left of it around the corner. Go up by one with the white, go left by one with the pink, go down by one with the green. Do an up left diagonal with the green, go left by one with the pink, one with the white, do an up left diagonal with the green, a bottom left diagonal with the green, do an up left diagonal with the white, move around the corner. You then want to, around the corner, do a bottom left diagonal from that white wool. Go left by one with the pink, one with the white, do an up left diagonal with your lime, then a bottom left diagonal with your lime. Do an up left diagonal with your white, then an up left diagonal with your lime wool. Go left by one. There you have most of LittleKelly's flower wreath going around her head. We have to make a couple of changes. So, can you see wherever you have these white walls around the head, except for the ones on the corners, because you don't want any blocks on the corners, you want to have it so that there is a pink wall going all the way around each one of the white walls. So, for instance, that's the front. There's a pink wall going all the way around the white walls now, right? Except on the corners. On the left-hand side, we have a pink here, so we'll place one here, here, and here. And here, and here, and here. That's how it goes. So we want to form full flowers, except the flowers don't want to be made full if it interferes with the corners of the head. So like, that's the back. Can you see we're not going to place a pink wall there? And also on the right-hand side of the head, so we'll place one here, 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 and here. There you go, and that is just the little flower wreath that goes all the way around the head. Looks very pretty if you ask me. Well, once you've got that taken care of, we want to take out the brown stained clay. And we want to, starting from this white stained clay underneath the white wool of the left eye, we want to place a brown stained clay in this position. We then want to move up by 2, 1 and 2. We then want to go left by 1, go up by 1. You then want to move up by 1, 2, 3, go right by 1, place a brown stained clay. Do an upright diagonal, go right by 1. Move right and place a brown stained clay right of that flower. Go right by 1. Come all the way down to where we started the flower wreath, where we have this brown stained clay that sticks out, and up left diagonally of this place a brown stained clay. Go left by 2, 1, 2, then do 2 bottom left diagonals, that'll be 1 and 2. Like this. Then fill in this very small area left on the face and you'll end up with something that should look like that. Perfect. Destroy all of the blocks that you used to make LittleKelly's head, and once you've got that taken care of, you have completed one of the harder heads on this layer. Wonderful. Once you've got LittleKelly done, it's now time to move on to Lachlan. So Lachlan will need some white stained clay. he'll need black stained clay. He'll need white wool, he'll also need some light blue wool, and you guys might have guessed it, he'll need a bit of yellow. Move all the way to the bottom right hand corner of LittleKelly's head. Going right of this bottom right hand corner block, you want to do a row of 3 black stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3. Then place a row of 3 white stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3. Then 2 black stained clay. Continue going right by 3 with the white stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3. Then, on top of the layer of, destroy the initial 3 black stained clay, on top of the layer of white and black stained clay, add another layer of white stained clay. Then, for the next 2 rows, you can do, going from left to right, do 1 white clay, 1 white wool, 1 light blue, 2 white clay, 1 light blue, 1 white wool, 1 white clay. Do the same for the next row, so where you place white clay, use white clay, where you use light blue, use light blue. Then, for the next row, going from left to right, do 1 yellow wool, 6 white stained clay, 1 yellow wool. Then we can do 3 rows of yellow. That'll be 1, 2, and 3. And notice that his head is now as tall as LittleKelly. So this will be 1 row, this will be 2 rows, and then this will be 3 rows, like that. What we then want to do is, starting from left of the top left-hand corner of the left eye, so this white wool, we want to start left of this, place a yellow in front of this block, go up by 1. Do 4 upright diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3, and then we want to do 4. Then go right by 2, 1, 2. Then go down by 2, 1 and 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal, go left by 1. Bottom left diagonal, go left. Then fill in this little area that we've made right here. That's fantastic. Once you've got that taken care of, we can now move on to the rest of Lachlan's head. So we'll come to the right hand side of Lachlan's head. We'll take this bottom right hand corner white stained clay block and we'll go right of this by 4 with the white stained clay. So going backwards, we want to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, which means we now have to do a row of 3 yellow. So that'll be 1, 2, 3. What we then want to do for the second row on top of this, so starting from the left again, we want to do 2 white stained clay, then we want to leave a gap of 2, and then we want to do 3 yellow wool. Then for the next row on top of this, we want to do 1 white stained clay, then we can do 1 yellow wool, leave a gap of 2, do 3 yellow wool. Then we can fill the rest of this side of the head in with yellow wool, like this. So you just want to fill the rest of the side of the head in with yellow wool. And once you've got this side of the head filled in, exactly like this, you can move to the opposite head and fill it in exactly how we've just done it. And this time it's a lot easier because we can simply look over at what we have just made and we can just copy what we have over on that side onto this side. So just look forward at what you've made and copy exactly what you did on that side onto this side. You guys will manage that no problem, I'm sure you will. So instead of me having to provide instructions, just look over, copy what you've done. You won't have too much trouble doing it because I've just done it right there. I didn't look at my plans or anything like that. I just looked over and I've copied it myself. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. Then we want to come to the back of the head, and the back of the head just wants to be completely yellow wool. So you can connect the bottom 2 corners together, and then you can just run rows of yellow wool coming all the way up to the top until you eventually reach the top of the back of the head. So it'll look a little something like that. That looks fine, doesn't it? Now, for the bottom part of the head, we want to add a square of white stained clay right in the bottom of the head. So just add a square of white stained clay right in the bottom of the head here. Whoops, my bad. So, like that. Then, do a square of yellow wool right on top of the head. So, do a square of yellow wool right on top of the head, like this. Later on, we will fill the bottom of the head in and the top of the head in with glass. And note that we do have these spacers to get in and out of Lachlan's head now. And if you like, since we didn't build them into LittleKelly, you can add them to LittleKelly as well. So, see where we have this space on the side of Lachlan's head that faces LittleKelly's? Destroy the 4 same blocks on her side of the head as Lachlan's are. So you can now move between the heads. Well, that's Lachlan taken care of. And next, it is time to actually do my skin. A lot of you guys wanted to see this, no idea why, but to make it, we're going to need some red wool, we'll need white wool, and we'll need black wool. Very easy. We're going to want to start from the bottom right-hand corner of the front of Lachlan's head, go right with a row of 3 white wool. That's 1, 2, 3. We then want to do a row of 8 red wool. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. On top of this row of 8 red wool, we want to stack another row of red wool. Then, going from left to right on the next row, we want to do 1 red, then 2 black, 2 red, 2 black, 1 red. Then for the next row, do 1 black, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, 1 black. For the next row, do 2 white, 1 black, 2 red, 1 black, 2 white. For the next row, do 1 white, 1 black, then 4 red, 1 black, 1 white. For the next row, do 1 black, then 6 red wool, 1 black. Then do a final row of red on the top of the head, and there you have Spider-Man's face, aka my skin's head. Then all we have to do is take the back 4 corners of the head, extend them backwards each by 7, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we don't have to count out the other rows, because once you've done it once, you can even just match it up with the previous skin's head. You just want to connect those backwards, connect them to the top, connect them all together, and for mine it's really easy. We just want to connect everything together, then we'll fill in the back, then the left and right hand side of the head, and we'll leave holes to actually like get through the head. So the only part of this that is actually like fully completed that we're about to fill in, the entire back can be filled in with red wool. But the sides, we do want to be conscious that we do want to have the hole so that we can get in and out of the head. I'll tell you what, if you just completely fill them in, both of the sides in with red, and then we can just destroy the holes later. It'll just be a bit easier than building them in. Honestly, as well, we'll just use Lachlan's head to figure out where we have to place them. And remember, for the very bottom of the head, we just want to have a ring of red wool. So we just want to have a ring of red wool that goes all the way around the base of the head like this, and we want the same at the top. The reason for this is, of course, because we want to have 2 windows. We want to have 2 glass windows in this, and that will just keep the head looking light. Coming into Lachlan's head here, looking forward, we just want to destroy these 4 blocks so we can travel between the head. We want to do this side, and we want to do this opposite side too. So there you go, guys. We're over halfway now. We've done 3 heads, and the next head that we're going to be doing, once you've got mine taken care of, is going to be Ssundee, a personal favourite. We want to grab ourselves some white stained clay and some black stained clay. We need some white wool. We'll also need black wool. Also, grab a dark grey wool. So, once you've got mine done and you have your materials, you want to come to the bottom right-hand corner of Spider-Man's head. Going right of this block, you want to do a row of 3 white stained clay going right. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do a row of 8 black stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, if you like, you can destroy the guiding row of 3 white stained clay. On top of the black stained clay, going from left to right, do 1 white stained clay, 1 black stained clay. Do 4 white wool. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 black stained clay, 1 white stained clay. For the next row, do 2 white stained clay, 4 black stained clay, 2 white stained clay. Then for the next row, do an entire row of white stained clay. Then for the next row, do 2 black wool, 1 dark grey, do 2 white stained clay, then 1 black wool, 1 dark grey, 1 black wool. Then for the next row, do 1 black wool, 1 dark grey, then 3 black wool, then 1 dark grey, 2 black. Then for the next row, do 2 black stained clay, followed by 2 white stained clay, 1 black stained clay, 1 white stained clay, then 2 black stained clay. Then for the next row, do an entire row of black stained clay, just like that. That's exactly what you want. Now, once you've got that taken care of, the sides of Ssundee's head are a little bit more complicated than some of the other sides. So come all the way over to the right-hand side of Ssundee's head. So once you're on the right-hand side of the head, you want to take this very bottom corner black stained clay block, and you want to extend it backwards by 7 with your white stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then, on top of this row that we have right here, you want to, going right, do a black stained clay, followed by a white stained clay. Leave a gap of 2, and then do 2 white stained clay, then a black stained clay. Then for the next row, going right, do 1 white stained clay, 1 black stained clay. Leave that gap of 2 again, and do 1 white stained clay, 2 black stained clay. Then for the next row, do 2 white stained clay, then do the entire rest of the row black stained clay, like that. What you then want to do is, for the next row, going right, do 2 black stained clay, 1 black wool, then go up on top of that black wool by 1, and then left to connect back to the other part of the head. You can then make the entire rest of this part of the head black stained clay. So This is relatively complicated as it goes for the side, but very easy. That's what you want to have. And by the way, once you've done that once, you actually want to do the same thing again on the opposite side. So if you come to the opposite side and you do the same thing, and by that I mean literally look over at that other side and copy what you have done. Just copy what you've done, that's all you have to do. There's no point in having to explain it to you guys. You guys don't need that. You just have to look straight forward and do what you've already done at one time already. There's nothing easier than that. It doesn't get easier than just literally copying what you've just made. And we're just doing it for the right hand side of Ssundee's head, which is relatively complicated as far as the size of the head go, but still, there we go. Those are both halves of the head. What you then want to do to complete this is right at the back of the head, you want to, going right of this back left hand white stain corner clay, you want to go right by 2 with white stain clay, then do 2 black stain clay, then go right by 2 with white stain clay. Then fill in the rest of the back of the head with black stain clay. Just completely fill in the rest of the back of the head with the black stain clay, and then we will add, once you've got the back filled in, a ring of white stain clay right at the bottom of the head, going all the way around the base of the head. You want to have the white stain clay like this. And you want to have a ring of black stain clay going all the way around the top of the head, like this. That's wonderful. So at the top and at the bottom. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Ssundee's head complete. Nice and easy, really, not too bad. Once you've got that taken care of, we have the last head. And this is going to be Little Lizard. So we'll need for Lizard white stain clay, and we'll need black stain clay. As always, grab yourselves some lime wool, some green wool, grab white wool, and we'll also need black wool and purple wool. Those are the only colours. Once you have each one of those, and this is a little bit trickier, you want to, starting from the bottom right hand corner of the front of Ssundee's head, you want to go right of this by, let's say, 3 with the dark green. That's 1, 2, 3. Then place a lime wool. Destroy each one of those 3 dark green blocks, and from this lime wool, you want to go up on top of this by 4 with your lime. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go right by 1. Then go right by 2 with the dark green, 1, 2. Then go right by 4 with the lime. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go down by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like that. Then, going up on top of this top row here, we want to, going from left to right, do 1 white wool, 1 black, 1 white, 1 dark green, then do 1 lime wool, then 1 white, 1 black, 1 white wool. Then, for the next row, do 1 white wool, 1 black, 1 white, 1 lime green, 1 dark green, 1 white, 1 black, 1 white. Then for the next row, the final row here, we want to do 3 white wool, then 1 lime, 1 dark green, then 3 white wool. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like this. And now what we have to do is Little Lizard's face. So we want to start Little Lizard's face. It wants to be in line with the very bottom of the lime green wool row that we started, except the face wants to be 1 row inwards and backwards. So inwards, backwards, to the right, starting in this position, and we want to go right of this white stain clay by 4 with the black stain clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a white stain clay, and that is how big Little Lizard's face is. On top of this row, going from left to right, we want to do 1 white stain clay, 1 black stain clay. Do 2 white stain clay, 1 black stain clay, 1 white stain clay. For the next row, do 2 white stain clay, 2 black stain clay, 2 white stain clay. For the next row, do 1 white wool, 1 purple, 2 white stain clay, 1 purple, 1 white wool. Like that. That is the front of Little Lizard's head. Let's come to the side of Little Lizard's head so we can get this taken care of. So, on the side of Little Lizard's head, starting from the very bottom left-hand corner lime green wool block that we have. Actually, we're starting at the top here. We want to start at the very top, so where we have this top corner white wool, and we want to go right of this by 1 with the lime green. Then go right by 2 with the dark green. Then 4 with the lime. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That was a little difficult. Then for the next row underneath this, going from left to right, do 1 lime green, 2 dark green, 3 lime. That's 1, 2, 3, 1 dark green. For the next row, do 4 lime wool. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do 3 dark green. Then for the next row, do 1 lime, 2 dark green, 1 lime, 2 dark green, 1 lime. Then for the next row, do 1 lime green, 2 dark green, 4 lime green, and then fill the rest of the rows, the underparts of these rows, in with your lime green wool. That's all you have to do. Very easy. Just fill these under rows in with your lime green wool, like that. Once you've filled this side in, you can come to the opposite side and you can do the exact same thing. So you just want to fill this opposite side in the exact same way that you filled the side that we've just done in. You guys know how to do this. All you have to do is, of course, copy what you have on that opposite side. That's all you have to do. So just take what is on that side and just copy it onto this side and you'll have no problem doing that whatsoever. Trust me, guys. Easiest way to do it by far. So we'll just complete this side and then we can move on to the back. And the back is a little bit trickier, just a little bit trickier. It's not insanely trickier, but the back is a little bit trickier. So we just want to have something which should look like that for both of the sides. Now let's talk about the back of the head. So on the back of the head, starting from the very bottom back left hand corner block, we want to go right of this block by 5 with the lime green. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we want to go right by 2 with the dark green wall. That's 1, destroy that lime wall block, place another dark green. It's my bad, that should have been dark green wall. Then we want to, on the next row going from left to right, we want to do 1 lime wall, 1 dark green. Leave a gap of 2, that's important. Then do 1 lime wall, 1 dark green, destroy the next lime block and place a dark green there. Again, my bad. For the next row going from left to right, do 1 lime wall, 1 dark green, leave a gap of 2, then do 1 lime, then do another lime. So fill those last 2 spaces in with lime. Then for the next row, just do an entire row of lime green wool. Then for the next row, going from left to right, do 4 lime green. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do 2 dark green. Then for the next row, do 1 dark green, 3 lime green, 2 dark green. For the next row, do 1 dark green, then make the rest of the row lime green. For the next row, do 2 lime green, 2 dark green, 2 lime green, to give you something which should look like that. And that is the back of Little Lizard's head. So we now want to fill the bottom of Little Lizard's head in with a ring of white stained clay. So fill the bottom of Little Lizard's head in with a ring of white stained clay. And by the way, make sure that it is in line with Preston's head. So because Little Lizard's head is 1 row inwards in relation to his hood, you want to leave the first row here alone, but then you can kind of like do a U shape or an N shape with your white stained clay. Then coming up to the top of the head, you can do a very similar thing. You can just add like the square of white of lime green wool up at the top, so you can do the same thing that you did on the others. And that is what you want to do for Little Lizard's head, and that will complete, just about complete, your YouTuber heads. So once you've got that taken care of, we now have to talk about linking them together, all in a fashion, plus we have to add the glass. So first of all, we'll add the glass and we'll link them together. To link them together, we need some quartz stairs, we'll need some black stained glass pane, and we'll need some black glass. To fill the heads in, you want to choose 5 colours that you best think represents each one of these YouTubers. So Little Lizard, I think, deserves some lime stained glass. Ssundee probably needs some brown stained glass. I would prefer if you use some red stained glass. We then have Lachlan, which I think yellow stained glass would work, and we have Kellie, which would be pink. Let's fill these in. So I'm just going to fill the bottom of this in with lime stained glass. So the bottom of Little Lizard's head is going to be lime stained glass. Also the top. You know what? It's not really necessary that you guys see this on recording, so I'm going to go and do all of the YouTuber heads. I'm going to fill them in with the appropriate glass. You guys know which order this is. Little Lizard is green, Sundee's brown, I'm red, Lachlan's yellow, and Kellie is pink. I'm going to fill these in, and I'll be back in a second once I have filled them in, just to save a bit of time on the video, guys. I'm going to get cracking with this. So that is each one of the YouTuber heads filled in with the appropriate coloured glass. Once you've got that taken care of for yourself, and obviously pause this if necessary, if you're doing that for yourself, once you've Done that, hit play, and you can continue on with the rest of us. And I just noticed that we have this supporting row of white here. Well, we can move on to the next bit. And what we're going to do now is we're going to connect each one of the YouTuber heads together. And to do that, we're going to have rows of black glass connecting the entrances on either sides of the heads together. So, obviously, in between the middle heads, you'll have the two rows of, I just destroyed that. You'll have the two rows to connect together, but on the outer heads, and we do have to break into Little Lizard's head here, on the outer parts of the heads, you don't have the two rows. So like on the outer heads, you can see that's sealed up because there's no reason for it to be open. So you just want to have your black glass moving all the way through. And then, on the outer parts of the black glass, in front of and behind, we want to have upside down quartz stairs. We want to have the upside down quartz stairs on either side, and on top of the quartz stairs, we're going to want to stack black stained glass pane. And this is just going to work as a walkway between each one of the heads. It's just so that you can travel easily. I'm actually just about done, otherwise I'd also cut this out as well. It's not going to take so long. Can you use different materials for the walkway? You may be wondering to yourself. Of course you can. Use whatever you like. Whatever you feel you might like best, use that particular material. I just think that this is pretty non-discreet. It's you really can't see it that well unless you're really looking at it. I just think that's a very subtle way to connect the houses together. I mean, it's not that intrusive, I don't think, but you can use another material if you like. You could just use glass. That'd be even less noticeable. Well, once you've got that taken care of, we now have to talk about actually connecting the heads together, the ground level to the top level. To do this, we'll need a block of quartz, we'll need some ladders, and we will need some black stained glass block. Come all the way up to the top back left-hand corner of your YouTuber head house, so all the way up to Little Lizard. We want to connect the bottom two corners of the very back middle part of the head of Little Lizard to Preston's top back two corners of the middle. You guys can see, it's difficult to explain, but you can see that you want to connect the center of the head at the back from Little Lizard down to Preston. And we want to have, and we have to break into the little glass chamber here down below us, and we want to have a row of ladders that transports us from this area all the way up to that area. And to do that, coming down to Preston, we want to have a little quartz platform here. So can you see where the ladder leads into Preston's head? We want to have a quartz platform in the glass chamber. And we want to have, on top of this block of quartz, just behind the ladders, we want to go by 1, 2, and 3 with our block of quartz. We then want to connect it to the back of Preston's head, and we want to have 1, 2, 3 ladders here on that row of 3 block of quartz. Then we want to have ladders running all the way up until we reach the very top of Little Lizard's head. So can you see how we've done that? I'm sure that you guys can see. And then what we want to do is we just want to have a chamber of glass going all the way around the ladders that we've made. So it'll take a second or two, but we want to have a glass chamber. Plus, if you want to make that chamber look a little bit more discreet, I'll show you how to do that. It's actually quite easy, and I'll show you what to do. Very simple. So we'll just seal up the back of this chamber like this, and this is what it looks like from the back. Obviously, it's not pretty, is it? It's not really a pretty chamber, but it will get you from one layer to the other. And on the front, it's a little bit more noticeable with the with the block of quartz. So if you want to just cover it up with a layer of black glass, it actually helps conceal it a little bit. It's a little harder to see. Do that for Little Lizard, and do the same thing for LittleKelly. So coming all the way over to LittleKelly, first of all, we want to connect her and PopularMMOs together. We also want to break into the back of LittleKelly's head, like that. We also want to break into the glass chamber. We want to come all the way down to where we have the ladders at the top of PopularMMOs' head, and we want to add the little platform. We want to add the row of 1, 2, 3 block of quartz here, and then we want to add the ladders, and we want to connect the 3rd block of quartz to the head. We then want to have a row of ladders coming all the way up to the top, back of the head, and we also want to form the glass chamber. Now, you don't have to delete any of her crown, any of her like flower wreath, whatever you want to call the thing. You don't have to delete any of that. Leave those blocks in there by all means, but just go all the way around this, chamber, and you just want to seal it in. So I don't know why I seal it in, but you don't have to. I like it this way. And there you go, that's the back. And as we come to the front, we can just go all the way around the quartz block. We can just add a layer of glass going all the way around this. And there we go, it's a little bit more concealed. And those are your YouTuber heads that connect together, and also you can travel from, well, they connect together in every way, shape and form. And if you want a couple of ideas of what you can do inside the heads, because I'm not going to design an tutorial for these heads, I've already done it 2 times already. If you want an idea of what you can put in these heads, and you can also add doors onto them, by the way, you can just have little tiny rooms with everything in them. They can just be bedrooms, they can just be like little auditoriums, so you can have a look around. I personally like them as kind of, they're pretty much just aesthetic. This house, the heads are just completely aesthetic. It's not really that good as a functioning house, but it's completely up to you with how you want to use this. If you want to use it as a proper functioning house, and you want to have, how many is this, 15 individual rooms, then that's completely up to you. But I like it as is, just kind of like a really cool thing that you can walk around and explore, and it's just all nice and open, and it's cool to see your favourite YouTubers all collected together. That's how I like to think of it. Well, this is the tutorial over with. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please do give this video a like. I'd really, really appreciate it. I honestly would. I'm not sure whether you guys just heard that or not, but my phone made the weirdest noise that I think that I've ever heard in my life. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that you guys love this house, and I do put a lot of effort into figuring out who you guys want to see next and arranging them in an order that is aesthetically pleasing. Also, comment down below, who else do you want to see next? I'd love to see who you guys want to see next. I honestly would. I only take your guys' suggestions. I don't have any of my own input here. I just look down in the comments and I figure out who you guys want to see the most. Let me know. Also, follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. Check out the card system and the description below for the previous iterations of this house, level 1 and level 2. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.